All right, I want to welcome everyone tonight to the Biz Talks for April the 19th, 2018. Um, my name is Doug Stroup. I am a Black Diamond. My wife and I, Doug and Amy Stroup, Black Diamonds in the Zija compensation plan. Been with Zija since July of '09 and absolutely love what we get to do every day, making a difference in other people's lives. Also, very thankful to have this opportunity to fill in for Fred Holmes tonight. Wonderful friend, business partner. He is in Cincinnati meeting with the corporate leadership and other top field leaders discussing what will become Zija 2.0, which will be rolled out completely at the conference this year, we believe. And so we're very, very excited to hear what he has to say when he gets back. I'm just thrilled to have the opportunity to talk to you tonight a little bit. What I want to do is share background, a few minutes of background of Zija International, a little bit about our products, and then I want to bring over another great friend, Double Diamond, Mr. Mike Crane, is going to join me tonight in just a few minutes, and you get to hear his story, how he has become successful in Zija International, following our simple duplicatable system that we all hear so much about. But again, I want to say welcome to our guest, our new distributors on the call tonight. If you're on this call and you're looking for some information or education about our products, tonight is not necessarily going to be about the products. It's going to be more about the business. And again, hearing testimonies of success stories in that, specifically from Mike. But we have other calls that talk about products. But tonight is really more about the business. But that's what I wanted to do at first, is just start out and share a little bit about that. And then we'll go over and hear from Mike tonight. You may have heard of Ken Brailsford. Ken Brailsford, and I'm just going to tell you a little bit about the history of the company first, as I mentioned. I had never heard of the name Ken Brailsford before I heard of Zija International. Now, my wife was introduced to Zija and Moringa, the products, the business opportunity, back in July of 2009. She immediately just fell in love with Moringa, with the power of the tree, and then the products that were created and made from Moringa, and the benefits that has when we put it in our bodies on a daily basis. So we had great results, both from product and business, able to build a very large, successful, life-changing income, life-changing business opportunity for us. And we love helping other people achieve their goals and do the same as well. But when I heard of Ken Brailsford, I began to do some research, and I found out something about him that made it pretty easy decision for me to want to be a part of that guy's team. And that is, he has done something that no other person in the history of the world and network marketing has ever done, and that is he has started two other companies over the years that are billion-dollar legacy companies that are still in existence today. And now when I heard that, now one of those is Nature Sunshine back in the 70s. Another is Enrich International, which is still going today under the name of Unicity. That was back in the 80s. Folks, those companies have been around a long time, still in existence today. What did that tell me about Ken Brailsford? He knows how to build companies that will last. And I knew with a track record like that of success, I want to be a part of that guy's team. And so that was something I heard early on. I also heard about the world-class products that we have. I heard about the high-integrity leadership, the men and women that are driving this train down the track that know what they're doing and have our best at heart, right? The distributor field, those of us out here in the field that are doing the work. Also heard about the compensation plan that pays out very well to those of us that are out here simply doing the deal, right? Sharing the stories, sharing our stories, training other people, prospecting new folks to say, hey, this is available for you. Let's get you started, join our team, right? All of those things. And I found this out with the on the product side of things. We have a lot of moringa-based product. We have core nutritionals, which is the moringa in the little sticks or the sachets, the packets, whatever you want to call it. And it's individual base in that little packet of powdered moringa. You simply mix it in water, drink it down. I prefer first thing in the morning, empty stomach, knowing that I'm drinking life into my body every day. And I've been consuming this every day now since July of '09. My wife and I both have, plus our family. We have 7 children, and 4 of them are married now, so our families continue to grow. And we're all consuming these products and absolutely loving it and enjoying the benefit, the health benefits, as well as the financial benefits that's come from sharing this and doing this as a home-based business. By the way, because of all these things I'm sharing with you, Zija International is the #1 home-based business opportunity for 2018. So if you're looking at this tonight, the timing's right. I'm telling you, we do have the best products and all the things that I was just telling you about. But another line of our nutritionals is Ripsticks, sports nutrition, sports fitness products. Now, think of all the people that have, over the recent years, gotten more involved in health and wellness and fitness and working out the gym. Well, think about all those that think about it but don't do it, or buy a membership and don't use it, or whatever it may be. There's so many people interested in that, but we have something here too that is the first of its kind. I mentioned the track record of Ken Brailsford. No one's ever done what he's done. He's building a 3rd legacy company right now, and that's Zija International. I'm glad to be part of this team. But think about in the Ripsticks line of sports nutrition products, we have done something that no company's ever done. First of its kind to market is all natural flavor, all natural color, all natural sweetener in our line of sports nutrition products. Amazing, amazing products. Pre-workout, post-workout, excellent line of products. We also have skincare. Folks, it's as important what you put on your skin, outside your body, as important as what you put inside your body. Very, very important to reverse that aging process, right? To look younger than our actually age, to feel younger than our actual age, and all of those things. So outside and inside products that we have. We also have a weight management system, which is definitely meeting this need, this niche. How many people do you know that are carrying around unwanted pounds? Most people, not just in our country, but around the world, have extra weight that they want to get rid of. And so we have a weight management system that works with multiple functions of the body and systems of the body that allows us to lose the weight and keep that weight off. We also have our own line of essential oils, which is called AMEO, A-M-E-O, line of purest essential oils on the market. How do I know that? We prove that through our science, but we have clinical grade as opposed to therapeutic grade. Major difference in the processing, the purity, the cell permeability, all of the things that it's able to do in the body. Purest on the market today in the line of essential oils called AMEO. So I talked just a little bit there briefly about Ken, about our product line, high integrity leadership, all of those things, world-class products. But you need to consider timing. When you're looking into a company, you're looking into a business opportunity. Well, it must have all of those things that I just mentioned. But you also need to consider the timing. Where is that company in its growth pattern? Where have they come from? How long have they been around? Where are they going? Right? Again, with a man named Ken Brailsford at the head of this ship and, captain of the ship, we're going places. And I mean, we're going to be the next billion-dollar company out there. But you want to get in ahead of the growth curve. I mentioned at the top of the call, Fred's there talking to corporate and field leaders about Zija 2.0. Folks, I'm telling you, this is going to take Zija to a whole new level when this gets rolled out officially throughout this year. And it's just as they're rolling it out, whenever we find out what this is all about, we know just on the tidbits that we're hearing, this is going to take Zija to a whole new level, and it's going to be around for many, many years to come. And you and I both will be able to benefit from that and make a difference in other people's lives and help them also to be able to benefit from our incredible products and our amazing business opportunity with a compensation plan that truly pays out very well to those of us that are out here making a difference in other people's lives. Well, that's just a little bit of background of the company, you know, the history, the products, and all those things. If you have questions about that, I definitely want you to get with the person that invited you to this call, maybe to this replay tonight, and get your questions answered. But we've got a lot of success stories out there all over the world, literally. People who have simply gotten started with Zija. Get in where you fit in. That's what we always say. They have followed a simple, duplicatable system. They've been able to make a difference in lots of people's lives and been able to establish life-changing income, life-changing results for them and for their families and their future, and making a difference again in so many other people's lives all along the way. So what I want to do right now, I know that Mike Crane is here on the call with us tonight. Let me find Mike. I'm going to bring Mike over here to the other side of this call, and you'll be able to see him. We'll be able to talk to him. There he comes right here. There's a good picture of Mike and his wife. Mike is a double diamond in our compensation plan. Again, one of Zija's top income earners. Mike, I'm seeing your picture there. There you are. Hey, all right. How you doing tonight, Mike?
Doing fantastic, Doug. Thank you.
Excellent. Can you hear me okay?
I sure can. Can you hear me?
I sure can. Yeah, I hear you just fine. So, Mike, you're up there in Canada, right? I know that you and Shauna spend some time in one of those beautiful islands over there in Hawaii, but I think you're actually in Canada right now. Is that right?
We are. Yeah, we're back in Canada. We came back to a lot of snow this year. We came back way too early.
Sure. How much time do you actually spend over there, if you don't mind?
We like to spend 3 to 3.5 months over in Hawaii every winter. We go over the beginning of January, and usually we don't come home until just about now, around the 3rd week of April.
So you're actually trying to, okay, you're trying to outrun the snow, right? You're running away from it. Is that what you're doing?
Correct. Yeah. We put up with it until Christmas, and then we get out of here. Because Alberta is a beautiful place to be from in the wintertime.
Yes, I understand. I understand. Now, I know I've spent some time up there at your beautiful home in Alberta, Canada. Was up speaking at one of our meetings up there and got to spend, some time there at your home. So that was a wonderful time. I appreciate your friendship and all that you've done here with Zija. It's just been amazing, reaching the double diamond. But we'll just do a little bit of an interview here, Mike. Why don't you just give us a little bit of your background? There's a lot of people out there, all in different backgrounds, people that are watching the replay and all of this. I kind of gave them a history of company and products and those kind of things. But why don't you just tell us a little bit about your background, right, where you came from, and maybe, how you got introduced to Zija.
Absolutely. Yeah, Doug, when I got started with this, I'd been an entrepreneur since I was 21 years old. I guess I went out on my own then, and I kind of hadn't looked back. But when I got approached to look at Zija, at that time I had 5 traditional businesses on the go. Between my wife Shauna and I, we had 5 of them. So it was insanity is what it was. I mean, talk about spinning plates, right? We were running around. And so when I first got approached, I said, I have no time to do anything else. I just had no time. And so I put them off for about 4 months before I finally even had a look. And when I did finally have a look, I thought, wow, this is probably the best business model I have ever seen in my life. It's the most honest business model because, I mean, you want to help people. And in traditional business, you want to hide any edge you might have from your competition. Whereas in this business, whatever's working, you want to teach other people to make sure that they have success. So I fell in love with the business model right away and the compensation plan, I might add.
That's awesome. That is awesome. So you had quite a few businesses. Now, I didn't remember that. That's something. There's a lot of people out there that think if they could just start a different business or add another business, right, or whatever, and if they're owning all those businesses, that they think, well, they're eventually going to get to financial freedom and time freedom. But what I found, and I'm sure you've found, is that most of the time those businesses own you, right? That they demand your time, your effort, your energy, your financing, all of that, just to hope that a business is going to make it. And finally, one day you might end up at financial freedom. So that's very different than what we're doing here at Zija. You found something here. You found a home in Zija, and I know that you've experienced some success. So is that what it was that motivated you to get involved? Were you looking for financial freedom and time freedom?
I was absolutely looking for residual income, with my different businesses. My mentality was, with these businesses, that if I could hire good people to run them, once I got them going efficiently, that they would turn a profit and I'd have residual income, or passive income where I could just oversee. But that never happened. People that you hire never care as much about your business as you do. So, they're not going to put in the extra time. I mean, I always joke about the employees. The only time I ever realized that there was a long weekend coming up was when the employees didn't show up on Monday. Because I was there all weekend.
Yeah.
But yeah, it is definitely a different deal that we have got going on here, and yeah, I've definitely found a home here with Zija.
Yeah.
We're down to one traditional business now, Doug.
Oh. Well, now that's an interesting part of your story. You've been able to sell off 4, because you said you had 5, and now you're just down to 1 along with Zija.
That's correct. Yep.
That's
and I've got my trucking company, and I like to play with my trucks. They're like big boys' toys, I guess. So we hung on to the trucking company.
Right. So when you first heard about this opportunity, how did you get started? There's people out there wondering, like, well, this sounds great. I'd love to have time freedom, financial freedom, but what do I do? So how did you get started when you got introduced to Zija?
Well, when I got introduced, I started with a diamond system. Financially, it wasn't a stretch for me to start with a diamond system. And somebody told me that, you got all this free product if you started with a diamond system plus benefits and a compensation plan. I said, hey, I'm in. Yeah. So that's how I got started. But then the very next day is when I actually started the business, and I called up a couple of friends and I said, you guys aren't going to believe what I found. You need to come out to my house this afternoon. Be here at 2:00. And I told them both individually. I said, I'm only inviting a couple people out here because I need you guys to see this. So they showed up, and I called Phil, who was the guy that sponsored me, and I said, hey, I've got some people here watching that video, because I didn't know what to do, but I knew that I needed to get started. So I said, I've got a couple people here watching that video. What do I do next? And he said, I'll show them the second video. Okay. So we're halfway through the second video, and I texted Phil again. I said, what do I do next? Or, we're halfway through the second video, and I don't know anything. I don't know what to say. So he said, well, when they're done watching, he said, just text me and say, call me, and I'll call you, and then you can put me on speaker and introduce me, and I'll answer all their questions. So that's what I did. And I learned very quickly how the system worked.
Yeah.
Bill answered their questions. Both those people got started with diamond systems, and I was in business.
Wow. That's amazing. Yeah, that's really cool. And it's rare that the first 2 people that you invited to take a look actually got started right then, your first time. It's not always that easy, is it?
No, it's definitely not always that easy, but we all have a certain circle of influence.
Yeah.
Of people that will almost, if we look at them and say, just give me your credit card, I'll tell you why later.
Yeah. That's right.
So that's the people I called first.
Well, Mike, you really hit on something there. They got started because of you. They trust you. They're friends with you. They know you're not going to lead them astray, right? There's so many people out there that they'll listen to us, right? We already have their trust. We already have a great friendship with them. And so they're going to listen to whatever it is that you have to say. And yet you touched on another one, that you were actually doing the system without realizing you were doing it, right? You invited two people to come to your house. You let the presentation do that education, right? So invitation, presentation, validation, that's our system, peak, pass, and plug, right? You did those, and then you connected them to your sponsor, Phil. That's exactly the system. And so from there, I'm sure you've just done that over and over and over again to be able to reach the level of success that you have.
Absolutely. Absolutely. It's been a real ride. There's, no question about that. When I got started, by that, I got started in April. So, we're now into my 7th year, April of 11. That's when I got started. By that fall, the convention was in Cincinnati, where Fred is now, and I'm going this weekend as well to Cincinnati. But that's where the convention was in the fall of 2011. And by the time we got to that convention, I had gone to the rank of gold. And as a matter of fact, right before that convention, I got inspired by something you said, and I don't know if you remember this or not, but I was listening to you do a call one day, and you said, that you couldn't understand when you were a gold, why all these people on your team were calling you, asking you different questions, asking your advice on this and that. And then it sunk into you that, oh my gosh, these people are seeing me as a leader, and I better become the leader that they see me as.
Yes.
And that hit a whole new level with me. I had just gone gold when you were talking about that. And I think you were double diamond or something at that point. But, I thought, okay, I better start paying attention, becoming this leader that they're seeing me as. But we went to Cincinnati and as gold. And when I got there, we were there with some other people from Alberta. They weren't part of our organization, but, a sideline team but really close friends. And we worked with them a lot. And there was another woman there that had just gone gold herself. And we made a pact in Cincinnati while we were there that the next year's convention, we would be diamonds by the next year's convention in Salt Lake City. And both of us were diamond by the time we hit Salt Lake City the next year. So, it takes time, but things happen.
That's right. And so, consistent effort. I know those consistency, persistency, all of that, doing the deal, right? Consistent effort will pay off. Certainly in Zija International, as I mentioned, Mike, early in the call, everything is in place for anyone and everyone to be very successful in Zija International. All of the things that I talked about earlier, they're right here. And so really it's just it's for a person to make up their minds, right? To make that decision that they want something different. And they're going to do something about it, not just, the insanity, right? Doing the same thing over and over again, expecting different results. You never will get that. We have to, if we want something different, we got to do something different. So you've done that. So thank you so much, Mike. I know that you've established just a lot more financial freedom and time freedom than you ever had before. And I know you're able to enjoy different things in life now because of the opportunity that Zija International has brought to you. Any final comments you'd like to, before I send you back to the other side?
Well, you hit the nail on the head. For me, Doug, it was making that decision, because I had to decide what I was doing, 5 businesses and Zija, and there was no way that I could do all that. So after the 3rd month of being with Zija, and I saw the direction that our residual income was going, Shauna and I had our little family meeting, and she put her hands on her hips and said, "Get her done." So that was the decision. And from that point forward, I focused on Zija, and I fit in everything else around Zija. So, that's, you hit the nail on the head. Yeah. If you make the decision, things will happen.
That's right. They will. Your actions will then follow that decision. And I can see Shauna doing that with her hands on her hips saying, "Get her done." She was actually a little bit nicer than Amy was to me. Amy grabbed my shoulders and shook me and said, "This is going to be huge. We got to do this." So excited about it, and it has been. It's great to have great wives that are right there alongside, supporting and working along with us. So thank you so much, Mike, for taking of your time tonight. I'm going to send you back over here to the other side, and then just a few comments. Thanks again, Mike.
Thank you.
Yes, sir. All right. Well, he's going back over there, folks. That was Mike Crane, Double Diamond and Zija. Thanks again, Mike, for sharing your time with us tonight. But, he touched on a couple of things, and I'm just going to close with this. One was on leadership, becoming a leader that will attract other leaders. And he talked about setting goals. Both of those things are extremely important. We know everything's in place here with Zija for anyone and everyone to be very successful with this. If they make that decision to become a part of this company, and then they work on themselves, right, while they're working on building their business, and they become that leader that will attract other leaders, and then they set some goals for themselves, and they begin to do that daily method of operation to achieve those, taking those little small bites that are going to reach us and get us to the larger goals that we set. You can achieve all of that and more here in Zija. Now, for new distributors, we're going to have a special new distributor training coming up on Saturday at 1 o'clock Eastern time. Adjust that time to your time zone. I'm just going to say this. Get ready, folks. Get ready for Zija 2.0. Thank you for joining our call tonight. This is Biz Talks. My name is Doug Stroup. It's been a pleasure to be hosting this call for you tonight, and we'll see you at the top. Good night, everyone.